I'm very excited about Starfield coming out, probably just like you watching this video, and by no means I'm not a professional gamer of any sorts, but as a casual, somebody who plays a few hours a week when the schedule from work or business allows, I wanted to share this video because I think Starfield is not for everyone. And bear with me, so there are a few points I want to make. Again, I only played for 4 hours, just the first couple of hours. I know the launch will be in a few days and I pre-ordered the game, so I had a chance to play it a few days earlier, just like many of you did. And so I want to make a few points why Starfield is not for everyone, which by the way, I still like the game a lot, but let's actually discuss some of the maybe not so positive moments here and there. So first of all, it's quite slow, right? The campaign pace is very slow. There is lots of fun things you can do, like scavenge and explore and all sorts of things. The world is vast, just like you've seen in some of the trailers, right? And the gameplays of other people. But it's really slow when you play it by yourself. Especially when you don't have that much time to play. I mean, I understand if you're a kid, if you're really young and you don't have anything else to do, maybe, but playing it by yourself is a little bit lonely because of the slowness, right? And it's ideal maybe for you to play with a friend, even like have a virtual call or something, because you can't actually play together, at least I don't know how yet, in terms of having a full-fledged RPG online experience. Maybe that's coming, but so far the campaign itself, the exploration of the world is quite slow. And the second point is, yes, there is lack of online gaming, and I'm not necessarily saying it should be like Call of Duty or Halo style, combat only multiplayer. I'm saying there needs to be some online version of this game, or something that you can do online. And again, I'm not following Bethesda news that closely. Maybe they are developing something that will support the game in the future, which, if they will, that will be awesome. So again, slowness of the campaign, a little bit lonely kind of play, no online approach here, right? The other thing would be combat. Let's speak about combat. So combat actually is not, I mean, on the videos, on the trailer, it looks great, but when I actually played it, it's not that big of a deal. It's surely not as rigorous as in some of those other games. Even, in fact, Mass Effect, older games of the Mass Effect seemed like the combat experience was better then. And I'm purely talking about physics and simulation. I'm not talking about guns and all those different things and modes and all that fun stuff. I'm talking about pure physics. For example, stealth. I can't really get behind certain walls, or like when I sit down I want to crouch and use stealth mode to kind of get an axe and kill an NPC without trying to make too much noise. Maybe I didn't master it yet. Again, I played only for 4 hours. There is also an element of skills, right? When you play the game, there is skill points you can build up your character. So maybe my character and my skill set that I chose for that character is not making him a good combat specialist, so that's fair. But still, you would expect from the get-go, when you have a combat in a game, the physics of it will be more realistic, will create more interesting, nuanced ways of shooting. Like the stealth, I didn't like the fact that it's a little bit like difficult to kill, and when I'm saying difficult to kill, I don't mean it in a sense of difficulty of the game, of the gameplay. I mean, it just like makes no sense. It's very unrealistic. If you really want to make the game based on the space exploration, you probably want to be a little bit closer to the science, right? Shooting 300 times from a gun to a guy who has no special armor or nothing, it's just like a normal spacesuit. It at least needs to make, it needs to be faster. It needs to be like, and you also you have to die faster, and you can just walk around and do whatever I don't know. It's just very weird. Maybe you should pump your difficulty into the very hard to actually feel that realism, but normal is very not normal to me, but in a weird way. So combat is not perfect. I expected better, but we shall see. It's only 4 hours of gameplay so far, and I'm not a professional gamer, so you just have to take those things into account in terms of my preliminary conclusions on this. Now, a few other things is no voice of the main character. I think I've heard somewhere from the Bethesda creators that You know, the idea was to not kind of impose the voice of the character or multiple voices in order to allow maybe you imagine your own voice sort of when you have these dialogues. I'm not sure, but I don't know, for me it doesn't work. I actually enjoy, like, I always have this comparison with Mass Effect, right? They have the Captain Shepard or General Shepard, whatever his commander, and so I like the voice of whoever was real actor and the voice of him that was used in the game, right? I understand that there are so many nuances and everybody is different, but it kind of makes sense to still have a voice. And it's weird, I'm main character, and all the time when I'm in between the dialogue, I have to make a choice, right, to respond to the NPC character. It's silence. It's all silence, silence, silence. There is no music. There is no nothing, and it's contributing to the slowness of the game. And I don't find it attractive, to be honest. That's my subjective take on this. Final thing, which is a big for me. From the trailers, it seemed as if you actually can land on planets, meaning physically take your ship, not just fly around, but physically land if you are in the orbit, right? Orbit of the planet, orbit of the moon, and you can land. Not really. You still have to basically do it on the back end. You have to choose the location from the menu, from the star map, click, and then you click X or whatever you're using it, like controller, and then you land. And it's gonna load like a picture, an image with a few tips. I mean, it's still the same like it was in many other sort of games that are space oriented. Now, I understand it's very hard to create something like this, especially when they have 1,000 worlds and planets and all the vastness, but I mean, it felt like they oversold it or marketed it in a way that will makes us expect it, but it's actually not true, turned out. So it is awesome that you can indeed fly your ship, repair it and customize it, which I'm yet to explore. It is great that you can both be on the surface and in space. But again, when I go through the missions for the first 4 hours and I'm like learning the constellation and all that story, I realized I cannot land on planets. And it kind of upset me a little bit because I expected that to be the feature. We'll see. Maybe that's something else I'm yet to explore. Maybe I didn't figure out how to do. So I'm giving the benefit of the doubt for the game creators. But this is my take on this, and these are my preliminary sort of impressions. I would love to hear what you think about this, because again, although I'm not a professional gamer, I love these things. Like, I love movies and games and entertainment, the art that it brings. I'm just curious about these things as much as many other things I do, like in real life, like scuba diving and fitness and, you know, helping my clients, coaching them how to become more well-rounded individuals, or doing commercial and corporate work at my job, right? I love all those things, and there's different dimensions that I'm exploring myself. And so I would love your take on this. So put down on the comment section, what do you think about the game? Make sure to subscribe to see more gaming streams like this. All right, talk soon.